guys, we're here at Indiecade 2015, the premier conference for independent gaming. We're going to try out some of the awesome indie games here and tell you what we think, maybe even talk to some of the developers.
Let's do it!
Let's do it. Tell us a little about Tribal and Error.
Okay, so Tribal and Error is like a game about language, but without language. Because you play this little tape recorder robot that gets sent back in time to help cavemen survive the Ice Age. But the problem is that they communicate in their own primitive caveman language. But being like a tape recorder robot, can sort of record the words they're saying and play it back to them. And that can sort of give an idea what these individual words might mean. And you can like type that in a little text field, what you think the word means, and it's also sort of open to your own interpretation. And like that, you sort of gather a vocabulary, start making simple sentences, and use that to explain things to them, like how to, for instance, make fire. And definitely as the climate grows colder, and their food sort of migrates away, like the mammoths they depend on for food, they sort of eventually have to sort of follow the herd. And then sort of they come across all kinds of challenges on the way, like crossing frozen lakes and going through dark forests. And the robot sort of needs to communicate to them like how they need to overcome those challenges.
We're here with the creator of Codex Bash. Where'd you come up with the idea for this game?
I've been sort of making kind of installation-based games sort of increasingly over the past couple of years. So we ended up with these 4 wireless buttons that were kind of made out of Duplo and, you know, making game prototypes based around them. And, you know, Codex Bash was kind of the most exciting prototype that I kind of came up with. You play as a team of, you know, 2 or more people. You have to run around between these colorful buttons, pressing them in the right order, and the order is given to you as a kind of sequence of symbols, and you get clues on the screen and clues in the room that help you sort of figure out what symbol corresponds to what button. And that was all kind of inspired by things like TV game shows.
Are you considering trying to get this to like Steam or PlayStation 4?
I'm kind of looking away from the kind of downloadable, consumable product. With this, I want to take it into museums, run it at like corporate events, team building days, schools, take it around on tour. So rather than saying this is a thing you can buy, you know, this is a thing that you can visit, and lots of people can come and visit it at lots of different locations.
Okay guys, we're here with the mastermind, the guy behind Throw Trucks With Your Mind, one of the coolest and strangest games that I've played here at Indiecade, mostly because I feel like you were reading my mind.
I actually was. I'm using standard electroencephalograph technology, which has been used in humans for the last 70 years.
Can you give kind of a base idea of how the game functions?
So you're wearing a ridiculously sensitive voltmeter on your head, which is measuring the voltage patterns in your brain, and I do a bunch of transforms on that to figure out how calm and focused you are. It plays like a standard first-person shooter, except that instead of guns, you have psychic powers, and how strong those powers are is controlled by either how calm you are or how focused you are. I ended up making it so that powers don't work on other players because I found that when players couldn't directly affect each other, they got very creative about ripping apart the level and killing each other. So it made a really interesting, complex gameplay that was different every time.
What drove your decision on what powers to use?
Well, the first decision was actually limiting the scope of the usefulness of powers. Throw was originally so powerful and useful that it made it so that people didn't use the other powers. So I broke it up into push, pull, hold in place, and lift. I made it that way because I wanted people to cooperate. Like if one person lifts an object and another person pushes, you don't have to deal with friction, and so you can get it going a lot faster. And the most advanced thing I've seen anyone do is jump on top of one of the crushed cars, look down, lift it into the sky while riding it and balancing on it. At the apex of the lift, super jump off of it, switch to push, send it crashing down on someone on ground level, or even if it misses, it's going to bounce and crash on someone else.
Wow.
And then they switched to slow fall, so it took no fall damage.
I will use the Dream Compass. All right, well, that's it for us today. If you guys want to listen to a radio show on every week on Indy 100 and The Points.
And if you want to get in touch with us, you can send us an email to geekworldradio@yahoo.com, and be sure to check out our website, geekworldradio.com.
Bye!